So in today's video, I want to talk about self-concept and how it is powerfully shaping the world around us. Who you believe you are, what you believe you are entitled to, how you believe people will show up is exactly what you will get. All right, my name's Koren. I love teaching manifestation, studying manifestation, the power of the subconscious mind, and helping people live their best life, including myself. So if you would like for me to help you with your manifestations, go to KorenDraper.com. I have an amazing coaching package that is tailored one-on-one specifically for you. That is a combination of emails and custom videos that you can watch and that will help you get over the hump to your desire. Without further ado, let's get into the video and talk about your self-concept. So Neville Goddard was a very, very powerful teacher that talked about how our imagination creates reality. And he is 100% correct. Here's how it relates to self-concept, in my opinion, and what I've learned. What you believe you are able to have, what you believe you're capable of, how you believe people will treat you, how much money you think you're capable of making, those assumptions of who you think you are is going to dictate how you show up in the world. It's going to dictate how you get dressed. It's going to dictate what actions you take. It is going to dictate the people that you are comfortable around being comfortable around being with. So we have to change our conception of ourselves if we want to change the world. There is no one to change, literally, but ourselves. Once we change how we think, change how we feel, and change the actions that we take in the world, everything begins to change. But it starts with the thought. It starts with, who am I? What do I believe I am? And that can relate to your money, your relationships, finance, business. It's everything. So I want to share something with you guys. There's two things that's been occurring in my world. One, I've read this amazing book. It's really short and sweet. It's called Dollars Want Me. And what that does is it changes your concept of money. Instead of, I need money, I got to find money, I need to make more money, it teaches you how to take money off of a pedestal and realize that we are the power, and change your concept of yourself relating to money. Dollars want me. I have valuable goods and service. People want my services. Everyone loves me. Dollars want me. And so when you begin to think differently, your world will change. Okay. Now, here's the kicker that most people don't get, and why I think that so many people fail when it comes to changing their world with law of assumption or law of attraction. We give up before we see the results. This outer world is literally a reflection of everything that we think, believe, and that we assume to be true. So the key to change is to be your own inner authority and to constantly come back to your new self-concept until you see it reflecting your world. Okay? So let me share this with you really quick. The world moves with motiveless necessity. By this is meant that it has no motive of its own, but is under the necessity of manifesting your concept, the arrangement of your mind, and your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent to be true. The rich man, the poor man, the beggar man, the thief are not different minds, but the different arrangements of the same mind, okay? In the sense that a piece of steel, when magnetized, differs not in the substance from its demagnetized state, but in the arrangement in the order of the molecules. Another part in this book here, that this is actually Neville's book now, when he talks about how things are displayed, whether it be health, wealth, beauty, they are not created. They are only manifested by the rearrangement of your mind. That is by your concept of yourself. And your concept of yourself is all that you accept and consent to be true. So I want to give you guys a really quick but raw personal life story about me and how I saw this demonstrated in my world. Okay. I'm a chef. I've been a chef for over 15 years. I freaking love food and I'm amazing at what I do. I worked for companies, for as I was learning, and I worked for one particular company for 10, 12 years. And I always wanted my own restaurant. But here is where I was my own limitation. I did not believe that I had the resources, the power, or the ability to have my own restaurant. So I continue to work for someone else. Why? Because my concept of myself is that I can't do that. That's too hard. I'm not capable. I don't come from a wealthy family. I don't have any family that's going to support me. What if my business fails? I just have me to fall back on. So my concept of myself, okay, caused me to stay in the exact same place. Well, while I was progressing and growing within this company, all the way up to general manager and running a multi-million-dollar company, my concept of myself was that I am not a business owner. I don't even know how to do that. Okay. So understand that that was a limiting belief that I held. Now, this is a past tense limiting belief. Okay. As I began to say to myself, it kept calling me. This is what I want. I want my own restaurant. I want my own food service company. But my concept kept limiting me on taking action because I did not believe that I had, like I said, the resources, the support, etc., etc. Now, fast forward 2 or 3 years after leaving the company, I worked on some online businesses and eventually came back to food. Okay. And now I'm actually in the process of opening up my own restaurant. I worked for some private clients. I did some meal prep services, and my concept of myself changed. After having success in other business and having success working with private clients and doing dinner parties and everyone telling me how much they love all of my recipes and food, I actually began to change the concept of myself and realize that I have to have my own space. I have to have my own restaurant. Now, here's where I really saw the shift with my self concept. I was in a way stronger position when I first left the company that I was working for than I am now, or than I was when I started my business. But it was my own limiting belief. It was my own self concept that stopped me from going out and getting whatever resources that I needed. And you guys have to understand, I've learned that what you believe, what you consent to, you're going to make that true because you're not going to take the proper actions. So I made that concept true that I don't have it, I can't do it, I don't have enough support, and therefore I never took the action. This desire to have my own restaurant and be my own boss was so overwhelming to me, and still is, that I had no other choice. I had to take the actions. And once I started seeing just a little bit of success, it was like, oh my gosh, I have to get my own restaurant. I have to start this business. I have to take this business from personal chef services to bam, now we have a storefront cafe restaurant offering meal prep and personal chef services. So watch the concept that you hold of yourself. I have less stable income than I did when I first left the company. And what I mean by that is, like, I was making six figures at the time working for somebody else. And when you start your own business, you don't start off making six figures. I mean, if you do, God bless you, good for you. That's amazing. However, once I changed my self-concept, I began to take all the steps, and I literally found a place to lease that is in a very affluent area in the suburbs of Philly. Um, I'm getting so much support from strangers and people that I work with, and it's just phenomenal. So my message to you is this: leave the world alone and change yourself. Change your concept of yourself. Don't be afraid to take those actions. Don't be afraid to question your limiting beliefs, okay? Those limiting beliefs and those assumptions are they will either make us or break us. So that's it. My name's Corinne. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure you leave me a comment. I want to hear from you. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, because we got to get this out to more people in the world. Love you. Smooches. Have an amazing day.